Planning Commission meeting to order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Mr. Wester.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Roll call, Jeremy.
Greenberg. Here. Hicks.
Here.
Mako.
Here.
Shapaka.
Here.
Suriano.
Here.
Tamarkin.
Here.
Wester.
Here.
Full house. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, we have approval of meeting minutes. We have the Planning Commission minutes of, what is that, October the 11th? Were sent out. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved by Hicks.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks. Is there a second?
Second, Greenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Greenberg. We have a motion by Mr. Hicks and seconded by Mr. Greenberg. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call?
Hicks.
Yes.
Greenberg.
Yes.
Mako.
Yes.
Shapaka.
Yes.
Suriano.
Yes.
Tamarkin.
Abstain.
Wester.
Yes.
Motion passes. There was a special workshop meeting between the Council, Special, and the Planning Commission on the November, it says the 81, I don't know if there's 81 days in November. So do I get the correct date on that? Or 18? There you go. Do we have a motion to approve the workshop meeting minutes?
So moved by Hicks.
Is there a second?
Second, Greenberg.
We have a motion by Mr. Hicks and seconded by Mr. Greenberg. Is there any discussion on the workshop?
And Mr. Chair, I'd like to commend Mr. Van Meter on making me sound a lot more intelligent than I really am. The minutes state that, Mr. Hicks raised a pertinent question and queried the value. I've never used those big words before, so thank you very much.
Quite welcome.
Hearing-
I'd like to make a motion to amend the minutes.
Roll call, Jeremy.
Hicks.
Yes.
Greenberg.
Yes.
Mako.
Yes.
Shapaka.
Yes.
Suriano.
Abstain?
Tamarkin.
Yes.
Wester.
Abstain.
Motion passes. We now enter the portion where the city attorney swears in the speakers for tonight. Turn it over to Mr. Roth.
We are now at the public hearing portion of the meeting. The public hearing will operate as follows. Administrative staff will make a presentation or comment on the application. The applicant or their representative may then make a presentation or comment on the application. Public comment will then be open for 3 minutes allowed per speaker. Additional time may be requested. Permission is at the discretion of the chair. Speakers must complete a speaker slip and come to the podium and state their name. The applicant will then be given 10 minutes to comment. Additional time may be requested. Permission is at the discretion of the chair. If there is more than one application pending for a particular address, the presentation on each application may be consolidated and presented as one. At this time, will persons wishing to present testimony this evening please rise and raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, state I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roth. We now enter the application portion. I will read the application in its entirety before we proceed. It is a variance application number V0022-2023 to consider a variance application to vary sections 1145.06B yard requirements of the codified ordinances of the city of Gahanna for property located at 523 Denwood Drive North, parcel ID 025-003-034, current zoning R4, porch remodel, Grant Margriff applicant. Turn it over to Mr. Blackford for presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. What we have on the screen right now is the location and zoning map. And this piece of property, it's located on its corner lot off of Denwood Drive and Denwood Court. It's located within the R4 zoning category. That is our smallest lot, single-family residential zoning. Towards the north of your screen, this area, this is McCutcheon Road. It's roughly halfway in between. Stigler would be to the east and 270 down this way to the west. It's roughly halfway in between. The lighter green here, this is also a single-family zoning that is zoned SF3. That's a little bit larger lot size. So again, residential zonings in this area. The dark green, the R4, that is our small lot zoning category. So the request tonight, as you already stated, it's they're requesting a variance to allow for some alterations to an existing screened-in porch. The setback in R4 for a rear yard is 15 feet. The porch is at 12 and a half feet. It's already existing, it's screened in. So you might be asking yourself, well, if the footprint isn't changing, why are we here tonight? Well, our code says that you cannot change structurally any part of a building that is non-conforming. So the fact that we've done some research, we didn't see any previous variances granted in the past. So in order for them to do improvements, again, this is an alteration. The code specifically says you can't alter something that violates a zoning code setback. So again, 15 feet is what the code requires, 12 and a half feet. That's a lot more reasonable than a lot of the variance requests that we all sometimes receive. Here is their site plan. I think this is Denwood Drive. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, I believe is Denwood Court. So again, this footprint really isn't changing. It is to the rear of their property. There's residential here on all sides of them. But again, that impact really shouldn't change to the neighboring residents. Why? Well, they've been kind enough here, the applicants, to provide a photo here of the previous condition. And here's what is happening on site now. So if the variance is approved tonight, then that would allow them to continue to move forward with the alteration. We could issue the building permit and they could get that finalized. So again, the impacts, the footprint is exactly the same. Again, our code just says when you have these non-conforming structures, you can't structurally alter them without some level of approval. In this case, granting the variance now makes that go from a non-conforming structure to a conforming structure. So that's why we're here tonight. The variance criteria, we talk about it all the time, the special conditions applying to the land. I mean, R4 is our small lot residential zoning designation. It is also a corner lot that sometimes makes it a little bit more challenging. I would say the special condition also is this is existing. They're just trying to bring it into conformance with the zoning code. Preservation and enjoyment of substantial property rights. I would think if you're not granted a variance and not being able to make improvements and update your home, that would be an interesting situation. Let's just say if code enforcement went out there and tagged somebody and said you needed to make some structural alterations, your shed or your part of your home doesn't meet code enforcement standards. Well, if you don't grant a variance, they would never be able to make that conform. So we're kind of at a place, not to say that applies here, but again, it's just one of those, without granting this variance, you could see over the lifetime that structure would deteriorate without some type of variance. And being that this is a residential area with a residential home, staff wholeheartedly recommends approval of this variance. Again, it's relatively minor in nature, going from 15 feet down to 12 and a half feet. We don't believe it would create any additional kind of impacts, certainly no new negative impacts, because it's existing in the same height, size, and location that it does today. And with that, Mr. Chair, I will turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Blackford.
Thank you.
We now open the public comment portion. Would the applicant like to make a comment? If so, please step up to the mic and state your name and address. And recommend to do so, and then you can just stay up here in case the commission has any questions.
My name is Grant Margraf. My address is this address, 523 Denwood Drive North. I don't really have any pre-planned or prepared comments. I guess the one comment that I would make is that since this is a project that I am completing myself without the help of a contractor, future timely finishing of such project is set back a little bit by the cost of the variance application fee and the alteration fee, one of which I've already paid. And that's all the planned comments that I have.
All right, thank you. Is there any emails or any other correspondence?
None.
All right, we'll now close the public portion and open it up for comments from the commission. Starting on my left.
No comments.
Anybody here on the right?
No comments.
No comments, no comments. The only comment, when you say, a comment that I have is, so I think the permit's good for a year, once you get a building permit.
I believe you are correct,
Yeah,
sir,
and then
yes.
you got to call for an inspection or something, so I think you have time to
Okay.
kind of live that. So it looks like you're going to put in a concrete walk or something, or patio, or,
The concrete slab had broken and sunken, so A1 Concrete has already leveled it up for us.
good. And does this picture show the finished siding on it at all, or is that?
No, it just shows the house wrap. There is some
There's the house
siding
wrap?
planned.
And what are you anticipating putting on?
So it's going to be matching siding. It's basically the same white style siding that's on the rest of the home, the other three sides of the home. And I have plans to replace the fascia, the gutter, do some trim around the windows.
We'll pass a hat and raise a donation for you. Hearing no other comments, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion for approval of V-0022-2023.
Thank you, Mr. Tamarkin. Is there a second?
Second, Greenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Greenberg. We have a motion by Mr. Tamarkin and seconded by Mr. Greenberg. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Jeremy?
Tamarkin,
Yes.
Greenberg,
Yes.
Mako,
Yes.
Shapaka,
Yes.
Soriano,
Yes.
Wester,
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thanks for bringing this before us.
Am I done?
You are done. Ends our application portion. We move to unfinished business. Is there anything of note? Hearing none. New business. Setting a record for tonight. Official reports. Mr. Roth, do you have anything?
No, I do not.
Mr. Blackford, Director of Planning or Council Liaisons?
For Department of Planning, I would just say that I'm not sure if we actually have any applications ready to go for the next meeting, which would be November 15th. I think I took a look and we've got like 25 or so applications, so we have a lot of them in review. They're just, not ready yet for whatever reason. So we might not have a meeting on the 15th, if that's the case. I don't know if we're gonna have a draft of the zoning code ready, but it might be great if we could get that out, not have a meeting, but provide that document out. So maybe when we meet in our first meeting in December, you have an opportunity to kind of, really take a look at the draft zoning code. So we might not have a meeting on the 15th or any items, but we'd like to maybe try to get that document out to you and meet about it and discuss it at a future date and time. So that's it for planning, and I didn't have any updates for council. And again, I just wanted to thank everybody for their time. I thought, my apologies, our meeting on October 18th went really well and all that. So really appreciate everyone's time and energies for that event. That's all. Thanks.
Michael. Madam Mayor? Nope. Chair? None. Correspondence and actions? Nope. Any of the members have a comment? Very good. Is there a motion to adjourn?